It was about 6 months ago. Yeah, end of November, start of December. Start of December, I think it was. I was out camping last with the camera in the new car, and I said I'll do a video about it. 6 months. My bad. First and foremost, it's an 03 TD42, factory TD42, factory intercooled, 5-speed manual, DX, not an ST. So it doesn't have electric windows, and it doesn't have the molds on the body. You can see there it doesn't have those plastic molds around the wheel arches. It's just they just came out. Well, it doesn't have the molds on the doors either, so it's quite a bare body. That's had some fiberglass flares put on there. I don't know where they came from, but otherwise it's still a Patrol, still does all the same stuff. So that's the model, that's what it is. Panda white, obviously it's all black and white, which I really like. I'll run through all the particulars 4-wheel drive vehicle wise, and then I'm camping tonight. We'll do the camp part of the vehicle while we're set up for camp. Engine mods, not a lot. I think it's got the factory intercooler on there. It's been tuned by UFI, so I've been told it's 11 psi, which I'm not sure. I feel like it might have a little bit more than that going through it. It was around 180 or something horsepower, 500 newton meters. It's got a 3-inch exhaust on it with quite a big muffler in the back. So you might notice in these videos with this car the engine noise isn't, or the exhaust noise isn't quite as loud because it's got that big muffler in the back. It's got a UFI fan on it. It'll cruise around all day long on a little less than 70 degrees, and then on the highway it might get to 80. On a hot day with the aircon it might hit around 82 to 84, so it's pretty damn good. So it's got a factory winch bar on it, which is in my opinion pretty damn ugly, but I'm just going to live with it because I don't want to go out of my way to spend unnecessary money on this car. And the bull bar's there, it's working, it's got a winch in it, got my aerials and lights on it. I'll put some scrubs up to it now, so it's there, it's part of the car. I'm just getting used to it looking a bit ugly. As I mentioned, I've got some scrubs now. They're attached to, or being attached to, the side steps that were already there. Side steps / rock sliders, they were already on the car when I bought it. They were custom made from an old shop called Accelerate. Some of you might recognise that name. And also the rear bars from Accelerate, custom job from years and years ago when those guys were around. Dual carrier, all custom, completely custom built. The lights even as well, not square lights, the little round lights. That's all custom made to order for the guy that, specifically to order for the guy that owned it before. He had his vision in mind for the rear bar, and that's what he wanted, and that's how they made it for him. So plastic snorkel, just the old original Nissan snorkel. Don't think much of it, but at the same time it's like the bull bar. I don't really have a need to change it, and this car I want to try and not get caught up in swapping out unnecessary things. If it's working, it's working. It's got a dual battery system just under the bonnet, just the same as the last one, and they're still lead acid, but they're deep cycle lead acid. So there's just the two of them. They were linked with an old ARB Sidewinder, which I didn't like. That was playing up a bit and I didn't like that. So I had that pulled out and I put my DC charger in that came from the back of the last car. So that's connecting the two now. Not overly a fan of how I'm going with that. I'd much rather a big AGM, or if I could go lithium even. But for now it's working and I'm just trying to get used to it. I don't think they're 105, both of them are 105 amp. But the way I charge things, like when I'm out for instance doing this camera gear and that, I'm finding that I've not got a lot of grunt there. I've got the 200 watt panel on the roof, but yeah, I don't know, I'm not holding much charge. I could be doing better with that. So whether I go with putting a third battery down the back like the last one, which I really don't want to do, or figure out a bigger, better under bonnet option, just to, I've got the DC charger in there, I can put something plenty bigger in there. Yeah, that's something for the future. I'm just going to see how it goes, especially through winter, coming into winter with less solar, a little less UV, and charging batteries. I'll just see how I go with all that. It's got a set of Rowe Blacktrack 2s, I think they are. They're a 16 by 8, and it's got the Toyo Open Country, 285, 75. The radio, I took my nice XRS radio from the old car out and I've put it into this one. That just sits on channel 40 mostly, doesn't really do much else. And then I've put in a big double DIN because it's got this big homemade roof console. It's interesting, but it's doing the job, which fits in there perfect, and it kind of suits the car as well, being a bit bigger and double DIN. It's a little bit more old school and agricultural, suits the car well, I think. So a few other quirky things that has been done to the car. It's got a Detroit locker in the front diff, pretty old school. It's had a long range tank put in there, so 147 litre tank. It also has airbags in the rear. It's got Old Man Emu shocks in there as well, which, man, they ride. I had the Tough Dogs in the last one and I thought they were pretty average. And then now after driving this with Old Man Emu in there, I'm like, oh, they were crap. These drive really nice. The Old Man Emu stuff's really good, and you can feel the difference, that's for sure. 3 gauge pod pillar, boost, EGTs and water temp. Volt gauges, top battery is starter battery, or top gauge is starter battery, bottom gauge is for the auxiliary battery. And one thing as well, I left the back seats in too. The last vehicle obviously had the false floor in the back and I took the seats out. With this one I've left the seats in. It's not really a big deal. I'm quite happy with it. I've got the inverter in behind, well, it's kind of behind the both seats really, and then next to that is a little fuse box. It's all pretty simple stuff, just like the last one. Despite all this car talk and product talk and so on, it's just nice to be out. Very, very nice to be back out. The weather's starting to cool down a little bit now and fires are back, and yeah, it just feels good to be traversing through the bush again and back out in nature. Not that I haven't not been getting out completely, but I definitely haven't been getting out as much, and so I'm enjoying the time that I do get now a bit more, I think. Maybe it hits home a little bit nicer, a little bit harder. It hits differently, it's more meaningful. Oh, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anywho, I'm hungry. That's why I'm dribbling nonsense, because I need some food. Good grief. Nature. few cheeky red tails around. They always make a bit of racket when the sun's coming down. Light's getting very low now. Sun's down. Starting to get quite dark. So the camera's going to start struggling because it doesn't like low light. So I'll probably, I've got a little steak there. I'll probably cook, well, we'll cook that little steak. A bit of broccoli, and I'd say I'll be turning in not long after that.
Gave it to Fogarty, who swam around, and then with a big barrel, puts it through. It was clearance at the start that helped Geelong.
4 times for the term. The big fog is on fire. So they get it back out to a 24-point margin.
Absolutely stunning morning. It was a fresh evening. Got real cold. I didn't think it was going to get that cold, but it actually chilled down a lot. It's nice and fresh. Not too bad now. Sun's coming back up. Unfortunately, though, I slept in a little longer than I wanted to. Well, planned to. And I'm not really free to hang around for too long. So I may not even bother with a cuppa. I might just need to pack up and get going. Which is a bit of a shame. I feel like I'm gonna have to drag myself away this morning. Quite lovely. Quite lovely indeed. I changed my mind. That sun's cresting up over the trees now. And there's a nice little sunny spot just next to the car, so I'm going to make a cuppa and sit in the sun for a bit.